In northern Afghanistan, over 1,000 people have joined a protest to demand foreign troops get out of the country. The rally in the city of Mazar-e-Sharif was sparked by a NATO raid on a market in which 2 local security guards were killed. The demonstrators insist the 2 posed no threat, but the alliance says they were shot after refusing to put down their weapons. It's added to the growing anger over the number of civilian deaths in the country. And just on Friday, NATO accepted blame for accidentally killing 6 civilians in eastern Afghanistan. Well, to discuss this, I'm joined by Lizette Potgieter. She's a journalist in Kabul. Thanks very much indeed for joining us here on RT. Now, this particular demonstration took place in a single Afghan city. But what is the general attitude to foreign troops in the country there?
There's different attitudes, but first of all, I'll start with the general attitude. The local population want the US troops especially to leave Afghanistan as quickly as possible, because especially in the east and southeast, civilians are dying. There's an increase of foreign troop attacks on them. But then on the other hand, the Afghans want the military presence of the United States on the Afghanistan-Pakistan border because they want them to combat the anti-terror, the terrorist activities there. There's a small part of the population that do want the military presence here, the foreign military presence here. They are the people in the Kabul province, the surrounding provinces, and northern Afghanistan, where the foreign troops have managed to maintain a peaceful situation. These people in central Afghanistan and northern Afghanistan are Afghan business people. They are benefiting from the foreign presence here, military presence, and also the Afghan subcontractors that build roads.
Now, there's definitely been an increase in the number of civilian deaths. Why do you think the Allied forces are seemingly unable to avoid these civilian casualties?
I think one of the main reasons is because the Allied forces are not collaborating with the Afghan government. You also have the issue of the Afghan National Army and the Afghan National Police that have not been fully and properly trained by the foreign military forces. And then on the other hand, you have the the fact that there's issues in the tribal areas where the foreign troops do not gather the correct information. They gather their own information. It's the wrong intelligence. They should actually work with the Afghan national government, get the correct information, and then launch an operation. So operations are launched without having the correct information. And that's why this situation happened in Mazar yesterday. The 2 civilians that were killed had no connection with the Taliban.
Well, 30,000 extra US troops, they've begun to arrive there in Afghanistan. What's your perception there as a journalist? Do you think that really is the answer? Is that really going to bring stability to Afghanistan, these extra troops?
No, not really. What is happening here is there's a lot of concern amongst the local population. What they observe is the moment when foreign troops move into an area, the peaceful situation is disrupted. Immediately there's more Taliban attacks. There's a perfect example where the government of Kunduz recently asked for more foreign troops in his area, but he soon realized that he had made a mistake. When the US troops arrived in the area, there were more Taliban attacks, and his people are very unhappy about it, and now he doesn't know what to do about it. They have to come to a solution. Just
briefly and finally, the war's been going on, for 9 years now, but the Taliban fight on. You've talked about the support for foreign troops. What about the support the Taliban receives from the population? Just how popular is the Taliban there?
There are different Taliban subgroups. One of the groups that are gaining the most support is from individuals that have lost their family and friends during the war, where they've been attacked by foreign troops. And then you have the situation in the south where the Taliban is very powerful, but there's the perception that the Taliban is strong. It is not really what is happening. The locals appear to be supporting the Taliban, but in their hearts they are unhappy, they are scared. The Taliban in the south have appointed their own government officials, their own police commanders, and they are very powerful and they are controlling the region. When the local people turn to the Afghan government for administrative affairs to be handled, the Afghan government are unable to do it. And also when these people turn to the Afghan government, the Taliban severely penalize them. Also today there was a meeting at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs where an Iranian parliamentary spokesperson raised concern. This is not the first time that Iran as a neighboring country has raised their concern about the fact that Afghanistan is currently an occupied country. It has been invaded by foreign troops, and they are bringing up the point where they're saying that the young generation that does not really know the history of Afghanistan could join the Taliban. They could grow angry and join the fight to drive out the foreign forces and the US military.
Well, Lizette, thank you very much indeed. Very interesting to hear what you have to say as a journalist working there in Kabul. Lizette Potgieter, thanks for joining us live on RT. We appreciate your time. Thank you.